God bless you, and I pray everyone's having a blessed day. If you're new here, please consider clicking that subscribe button. So in today's video, I'm going to be using this smoke leak detector from Beley. Now, if you've seen that paid product placement in the corner, that does not mean that this company paid me to put this on the channel. I did not receive any money to put this on the channel. That is just something YouTube makes me click when I get a product to do a review on. So I just wanted to clear that up. So this is a pretty nice little kit so far. I went ahead and unboxed it, pulled everything out. Everything was neatly packaged in there. Everything is pretty simple and self-explanatory, but it did come with instructions that are also pretty simple to understand. The only complaint I have with this is that it did not come with any of the smoke oil. It's not a big deal. I didn't even know what to use because I couldn't find it in the instructions. But doing a little Google search found that food grade mineral oil works perfect for the smoke leak detector. So got 20 milliliters in the bottle that I need to pour in this top piece up here. And it's pretty simple. We have a negative and a positive that will go to the battery, plug into the back right down there, and then the smoke outlet, which goes in pretty simple like that, and then you tighten that down. It's a really simple machine to use. It has a power button as well, and it even has a line for testing evap. So this will plug in there, and you can put this on your evap to find any evap leaks. So it's a pretty nice little machine. You can also use it to test exhaust, which I will be doing. This piece right here is what I'll be using for that. You can just shove it in the exhaust and smoke the exhaust to find any exhaust leaks. So I'm going to see if my exhaust has any leaks using that. It also came with this piece right here. Not quite sure on what it's for, but pump it up kind of like at the doctor office. And I don't know, maybe to pressurize the system, kind of blow some smoke through. But it also has an air mode where you can turn on and just pump air through, and a smoke mode to pump all the smoke through, and pressure knobs and stuff like that to pressurize the system. I assume we smoke the system, turn it off, then go to the air mode and pressurize the system to make it go through any leak holes. It also came with various plugs and stuff like that, so that way we could plug ports up and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with the fluid, so that way it'll actually show some smoke. And the cool part is this can hang right up here. I like to go on the inside there, just like that. And now we just hook up all the leads to it and the hoses, and then I'll show you how to use it. Okay, I went ahead and took the intake pipe off, shoved the cone into the coupler here, make sure everything is good. Now, you can do this with the throttle open or closed. It'll take probably longer with it closed, so it's best to have the throttle open when doing this if you're trying to find an intake leak or an O-ring injector leak on like a fuel injector on the manifold side, not the fuel pressure side. So yeah, we've got it all here. Go ahead and turn the unit on. Now you can see right here, it kind of shows you the level. When I tilt it, you can kind of see it better. So it says that this has got about 75% of fluid in it. We could probably put a little bit more in up here, but that's fine. Just keep an eye on that. You also drain the old fluid out with this knob, loosening it up. So this is a little bit backwards than what I'm used to. Left is usually loose and right is tight. Well, right usually is turn the pressure up, but this way it's backwards. So right will turn the pressure down, left turns the pressure up. Pretty simple to figure out. We're gonna go ahead and start the unit here. We're gonna turn the pressure down. It may take a moment for the smoke to start, we'll see. All right. Okay, that thing smokes really well. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the pressure down a little bit more. Go ahead and plug it in. I don't see any smoke up there, but I see some smoke over here. So somewhere down there, it appears it might be coming from the air idle control valve. It's underneath the throttle body. So this thing works really, really well. And we can see a little bit coming from the O-ring on the map sensor. So definitely finds the air leaks, but I'm also going to test this on the exhaust system. Now what's really cool is you've already got the smoke pumping through. Now you can pressurize it. Oh, you can pressurize it with the smoke, but you can also pressurize it with air to blow some pressure through there. And it does build up some pressure, that's for sure. So far, this smoke leak detector is doing an awesome job. Now, one thing I did read in the instructions is not to let it run for over 8 minutes continuously. If you do that, it has a safety. It will shut off automatically. Then you'll have to wait a little while, come back, and use it again. I don't know if it's just because it's a protection from catching on fire or what it is, but definitely seems to work really good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that cone in the exhaust, and we're going to actually check to see if the exhaust has any leaks, because I didn't even know this had a leak here because it runs perfectly fine. So definitely found out something new using this smoke leak detector. So I'm going to go ahead and get this to the back of the car and see if we have any exhaust leaks. Alright, I have it hooked up to my wife's MDX battery since my battery's not relocated to the back. I've shoved it in there and got it turned on. So now we just got to check and see if we see any smoke. As you can see right there, some of my brother's little booger welds has a little bit of leak. Alright, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but right here at the bottom of this gasket, there's some smoke coming out. So I found an exhaust leak there, and there's an exhaust leak up there as well. So that just needs welded a little bit around, but you can definitely see the smoke perfectly fine. So my take on this Beley smoke leak detector is that it is very nice, and I am going to love to use this to diagnose exhaust leaks, find intake gasket leaks. You can even use this on the oil cap. So like you can put that piece right here in the oil cap area and pressurize it, and you will be able to find like oil leaks or PCV valve leaks or anything like that. So definitely awesome. And this one tool, this cone tool, seems to do quite a bit of stuff. So I definitely like that for sure. Alright, as for the exhaust leaks that we found, this stuff works great. JB Weld muffler seal, it's a muffler cement. Now, if you have a welder, just take it off, grind it down, weld up the new welds, and you'll be good to go. But if you don't have a welder, this is definitely the next best option, and I think it was like $6 or $7 at AutoZone. 850 degree temp when fully cured, it can handle that. Most of the exhaust system doesn't get that hot anyways. Great for seams, gaps, cracks, and joints. Seals mufflers, pipes, joints, and exhaust systems. Now this stuff goes on like a gasket sealer. So it's the same type of consistency as a gasket sealer, but after you let it dry for 2 hours and it fully hardens, it's as hard as like cement. So it's really good stuff. I highly recommend it if you don't want to whip out the welder and get just a couple little tiny spots welded up. This stuff will definitely do it for you. Okay, so I just went ahead and used that JB Weld muffler seal, the muffler cement, and got the leaks taken care of. The exhaust sounds really good now. The only downfall is now it actually smokes through the exhaust where it didn't before. That is just because of the stuff we used in the leak tester. It will burn off, so don't worry about that. But here's a little sound clip for you. Did forget to post the video of swapping mufflers out. My brother ended up welding up this muffler, which is the NVIDIA Q50 or something like that. It's a really nice sounding exhaust, and I just really like it. And huge thanks to our buddy Eddie for finding the deal on that. He found it for $100 and sold it to us. So really awesome deal, and this thing definitely sounds a lot better with that muffler. If you didn't hear, my belt is squealing. I went ahead and replaced the alternator and got the upper bypass and all that, but it's still squealing, so I think it's actually the water pump. So I need to go ahead and just swap that water pump out because nothing else is the problem. It has a brand new belt, but it just still squeals. So after it's warmed up all the way, the squeal goes away, but it was at operating temp when I did that rev test, and it was still squealing a little bit in the higher RPMs, but not a big deal. I will take care of that. Got everything else fixed. I highly recommend this smoke leak detector. Also, real quick, a package came while I was working on the car, and it is Jackspania's Turbo, which will be going on the Turbo D-Series Integra. So there will be a whole video out on the D-Series Turbo Integra once we get there. I'm still working on all of that, so definitely want to stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, there's definitely more coming to the channel. I really appreciate you guys watching this video on the smoke leak detector and seeing how I got the exhaust leaks quiet and fixed with just using some of this JB Weld muffler cement. It works pretty well. You definitely want to make sure it's dry before running it. I let it dry for an hour or two, and it's nice and hard. You can stick your thumbnail into the actual stuff, and If your thumbnail goes in, then it's not dry yet. If the thumbnail doesn't go into it, then it's dry. Yeah, that's basically it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and get off here and roll the outro as usual. So have a blessed day, everyone. Before I get off here, I wanted to mention there will be a free Gideon Bible download in the description for Apple or Android. Everyone should know the Word of God, what Jesus came to do. He came to save the sinner and set the captive free. He died for you and me, went up to that cross, died and defeated death, 3 days later rose from the grave, and now has the keys to death. Anyone who believes in his finished work at the cross will be saved. If you have addiction or bondage or anything that is holding you down or you don't feel loved, God says he loves you, so much so that he gave his only begotten Son. And we are saved by grace through faith, lest any man should boast. So it's not of our works, it's of our faith in Jesus and what he did. So I just wanted to let you guys know the good news, that everyone has a chance. So repent, turn from your sin, and trust in the Lord. But that is basically it for this video. And until next time, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.